Hey, it's live from American Times headquarters here at the Dixieland. Yeah. So, how do you keep your dog cool in the summertime? Well, one way you can do it is by keeping them in the house. Hey, Scott, what's going on, man? Man, I'm still on these Mountain Dews. I can't help myself. They're so good. These Mountain Dew Zero uh, um, major melons. I'm going to end up drinking the whole 12 pack. Good morning, Paris. What's going on? Looks like my connection's trying to screw up on me. Can you guys see me? It says I got an unstable connection. You can see me? Okay. Well, as long as you can see me, that's fine. It's saying on top here, your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try to connect. What's going on? Sweet. Well, if it quits working, let me know. Yeah, that's what I was doing, man. That's why I got my dog clothes on. I was out there playing with Donald. Had him out, put him back up, got Spider out now. Spider's out there running in the yard. What's going on, Lee? How you doing, Courtney, Paris, Stephen, Scott, Richard? How's everybody doing? So what are you guys doing keeping your dog cool this summer? What's the what's the plan? You know, it's always tough to keep your dogs cool in the summertime. Lots of fresh cold water, right? That's where we start. And what are we using for water bowls? We got to have big, fresh water bowls. Oh, yeah. You got to have big water bowls. I mean, a dog needs at least a gallon of fresh water out there. At least 1 gallon of accessible, fresh water. And when I say fresh water, man, I mean fresh, clean water. Not a gallon of dirty water. Now, I like a concrete bowl. They're clean. The water stays cool in them. Oh, yeah. Well, I advise putting an ounce of water for every 2 pounds of weight. So if you've got a 40-pound dog, you can put up to 20 ounces of water in their feed before you feed them. Put it in the bowl. You can do that year round. But a dog will drink plenty of fresh, clean water in the summertime. If you keep that water down for them, yeah, man. If you keep that nice, cool, fresh water down for them, they'll drink the hell out of it. I mean, they're looking for it. Now, I like a concrete bowl. And the reason I like a concrete bowl is because it's clean and it keeps that water cool. You know, it's got that insulation to it. And you know how concrete's always got that cool feeling? So I like that concrete bowl. So look into that. You're getting concrete bowls that can hold a gallon of water. Yup, use more than one water bowl. Courtney's got a good idea. You know, you can put one water bowl where you normally put it, and then put another water bowl in another area. That's a good idea, Courtney. Let's see here. Shade, water, chain, hose spray. Absolutely. Spray down the chain spots. That's a real good idea. Absolutely. Man, they love it. Some of these dogs, man, they'll get to playing in that water. You get that hose out. I've had dogs that they'll chase the water around, play with it. That's right. Keep that bowl on a little platform. Yeah, what you got, Scott? Jay, what's going on? How about swimming? Any of y'all take your dogs swimming? Take them down to the creek. I've got a creek behind my property. I need to go down there with one of mine and take them and video it on a hot day. We haven't really had any hot days yet here. The weather's really been weird. Mornings have been cool, and I think the warmest we've had it here is getting into the mid 80s. Oh man, that's a cool idea, Scott. That's really cool. That's what I'm talking about, Paris. That's the best way to keep them cool. Laying on that bed, that's like the pucky. And that's how the pucky's got it, man. Man, yeah. That's a great idea. Oh, I like those. I've got a friend of mine that's building one of them right now, Zachariah. I think they're really nice. Especially for somebody that's just using it to hold the dog while they're, where the dog is a part of the family and being, used active. Um, it's a great device. Yeah, man, got to keep them cool. No, I didn't know Driggers. I didn't know them. I mean, I knew of them. I knew of them. I knew of their dogs and all that stuff, but I didn't know them. Now, I'm lucky, man. I moved into a forest, so my place. You've seen it in the videos. I'm completely leafed in underneath hardwoods, and so it's a good 20 degrees, 15 degrees lower underneath here, and then it is out in the sun. But I'm in full shade. And that's what you really need. You got to have that shade. They got to have somewhere to get out of the sun when when you're in the summertime. Whether it's on the couch, whether it's shade that you've created, whether it's underneath trees, um, but they've got to get out of the sun. Redwood forest. That's what I'm talking about. Man, wait till we get where we can put pictures up. I want to see that. What do you say, Kerr? Now I'll turn y'all on to a trick that I used to do that I never really told anybody. And I've told a few people, but I never published it or anything. Now, when it was hot in the summertime, I used to work a lot of dogs. What do you say, Paul? I used to work a lot of dogs. I like working dogs in the summertime. And people never could figure out how I worked a dog in the summertime. And I did well working dogs in the summertime. And you know what's the best time to get out and mess with your dogs in the summertime? Is in the morning, about 3 o'clock. Is get out about 3 o'clock in the morning, man. There's no humidity, there's no heat, there's no nothing. There's no people. And man, I'll tell you what, you can get some good workouts in the summertime at about 3 o'clock in the morning. So, the weather is perfect. It's quiet. Man, I'll tell you, I've had some good times with some dogs in the summer at about 3 o'clock in the morning. It's so quiet and so peaceful, and the weather's so perfect. Hell, a lot of times you can drop the leash. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's too hot to work a dog. you'll just suck it. You'll suck it all out of them. When you work a dog in the heat, it sucks all the fucking energy out of them. It just takes all that, everything that you build in a dog, all that stuff that you're building and that you're trying to accumulate in that dog as you work them every day. When you work them in the heat, it just sucks it out of them. You know? So what you have to do is you got to work them in the cool. And the only time it's cool is 3 o'clock in the morning. And you let the other guys work their dogs in the 80 degrees. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You know? You don't want to work your dogs out there in the heat. Not good for them. It ain't good for them, man. Well, where are you at, Kerr? Where do you live, Kerr? You got that dry heat. You got that dry heat out there. That's still not bad at 3 o'clock in the morning out there. What was the temperature out there at 3 o'clock this morning? Yeah. Yeah, I like that setup, Georgia Bulldog. Yeah, I like that setup a lot. I'll tell you what, when it's going to be 100 degrees with the sun up, you'll be glad when you're out there at 3 o'clock in the morning working your dog. You know, early bird gets the worm, baby. Early bird gets a worm. That's right. That's right, old smoke. You got to keep them cool. That's a good idea, Paul. Put it on their feet, too. If you're going to take the water with you, put it on their feet. Put a little water on the ground and let them stand on it. Oh yeah, that'll be good, man. As soon as I get where I can do 1,000, I get 1,000 subscribers. We can do split screen, Zoom, all that stuff. Right now, I'm limited to what I can do because of the controls on the deal. Um, until you get 1,000 subscribers, they don't give you any fucking controls on this thing. All right, so other stuff you can do are treats. On really hot days, you can give your dogs treats. You know, they love frozen treats. Um, you know, there's actually ice cream you can buy for dogs, but you can make your own. You can take like bouillon and freeze it, like make freezer pops. You can put it in those red cups, is what I do. Take bouillon and freeze it in those red cups, and then just pop it out. Give it to them. They love it. They sit there and chew it up and eat it. Bones are good, and I'll tell you what. If you go to your freezer section at your grocery store, they've got these soup bones that you can buy. They're a little round, hard bone, beef bone, about like that. They're in the freezer section. They're called soup bones, and they come frozen. Um, they're little beef bones cut, you know, probably about 3 inches around, about an inch thick. They're full of marrow. They come frozen, and you get about 6 of them in the pack for about $5. They're about $1 a piece, maybe a little more. They're definitely worth it. But any kind of frozen treats, man, those are always good on a hot day. Getting them off their chains on a hot day, getting them off their kennels, getting them out and doing something with them, is always good. Even if it's just getting them out and letting them come lay up on the cool grass, you know. Get your dog out, bring them up in the yard and tie them out. Bring them up one at a time and let them just lay up in the yard and just be tied out for the day, I mean, if you ain't doing nothing, you done took care of everybody, and you're just sitting around the house, and it's a hot ass day, let them lay in the grass, man. I mean, that grass is so nice and cool. They back there laying in that dirt. Oh yeah, that's a good one, Kerr. What about your diet? How about your diet this time of year? So, what do you do with your diet to help keep your dog cool? Can you change your diet any? Time of day you feed your dog? What you're feeding your dog? Do you feed your dog more this time of year? Do you feed them less? Do you What are you doing with your diet? No, I actually don't feed so much raw this time of year. Um, I'm feeding, yeah, I'm feeding more kibble and no raw. And the reason I don't feed the raw is because you got flies and bugs and all that stuff around. and they can't eat it that quick. I'm still feeding the boiled eggs and the spirulina, and but I'm not feeding the raw. I'm not feeding the raw chicken. I might give, like, some catfish, or I might give them some oil mixed in their food. But like the leg quarters right now, because of the flies and the bugs and stuff, I hadn't been feeding that. What's going on, Mayhem? That's right. You definitely don't want them hog fat. So to keep a dog cool, you want to definitely take a little bit of that winter weight off of them. So when do you start doing that? I mean, do you do that now? Did you start doing that back in March or April? What's going on, Mayhem? Traverse City, Michigan. That's where my truck come from. My big red truck come from Traverse City. That's right. You let the weather decide. But yeah, I cut out the big raw. I guess that's the word I'd say. I cut out the raw that, like, they might leave laying around a little bit, like them big old leg quarters and stuff. And I'll still feed some raw. Like, I'm always hunting protein. So, like, if I can get a hold of some raw that'll mix with the kibble, then I'll still feed some raw. If it's raw that kind of lays on top of the kibble, I'm not really feeding that right now. So I am feeding less than I was when it was cold. You're feeding less food. So I'm trying to feed more protein now and less fat. I feed that Pride 30/20. It's Pride dog food 30/20, 30% protein, 20% fat. And then, like I said, I'm always looking for protein. If I find like a bunch of, I like those hearts and gizzards. If I get those, I get catfish. I like cooking catfish on the grill and mixing that with my dog food. Any kind of protein I can get. What do you say, Chris? What do you say, Tom? How's it going, JR? Jose. Um, but yeah, man, you're definitely going to feed less. So what you're wanting to feed this time, is more protein, less fat. So you want to feed your kibble, and then you want to add protein to it. How's it going, Michael? I hope you're having a good day, man. And so just like in the wintertime, you want to feed more fat. You want to add fat to your diet in the winter. You don't have to change anything in your diet in the wintertime except adding fat to your diet. Hey, Jeremy, how's it going, buddy? So so in the summertime, it's the reverse. Again, you want to take that added fat out. So we're going to stop feeding all that extra raw and stop putting all that oil and all that stuff in the food. And we're going to start hunting some extra protein and try to hit them with a little extra protein 2-3 times a week, and then feed that good kibble. And if you got some vitamins or spirulina or whatever you're adding to it, but feed that high end kibble. Get that weight to a summertime weight. Now, me, man, I don't like no ribs showing. I don't like no bones showing on my dogs. I mean, I've seen some people what they call summertime weight, where a dog is pretty darn slim. Me, I like my dog the same size at the shoulders as they are at the back, like just a long, just regular shape all the way back. You can't see any ribs, you can't see the backbones, you can't see anything. It's just like a normal shaped dog. And that's what I like to see. Hey man, I like eating tripe. Um, what's the Mexican word for it? Um, um, it's not tripe. It's you got lingua, which is tongue, and then tripa, tripa. Yeah, I like eating that tripe, man. Take that stuff up and cut it up into little pieces and fry it. That shit's good, man. I'll eat that tripe. Give me some of that tripe. Give me the tripa. El tripa. That'd be a good name for a dog. Tripa. Tripa. Come here, tripa. Oh, that sounds like fun right there, man. Well, so we've talked about diet. We talked about water. Um, really hadn't talked about housing. So, you know, a dog house, a regular dog house is pretty cool. I mean, a barrel is good, but a barrel doesn't really provide a lot of coolness. Where a dog house itself, the wood and will provide a little more coolness than a than a barrel. So I do lean towards dog houses. You get a ease on the dog houses. A little ledge coming out and throw shade all around the dog house. So dog houses are nice, and you should look to having a dog house that's up off the ground with at this time of year with cedar shavings in it, with plenty of ventilation. It's just nice for the dog, man. Now Terry's talked about flies. Now that's another serious point. When you have a lot of heat, what are you going to have? What do you got with heat? You got bugs. You got all kinds of bugs. You got flies. You got fleas, you got ticks, you got all that stuff. And it's a major irritant to the dogs, right? There's a product. It's called Termidor. Let's see. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't spell that right.